Oh, yes. I'd like to present risk assessment, feasibility study, a PowerPoint is about. I'm sorry this is a little imprecise. I just made this on my laptop on the train on the way here, but it does represent my company's bid for monster disposal. Feasibility study and risk assessment for monster disposal. We understand you have a monster problem in this area. We will partner with local law enforcement. You do have...
We have a sheriff.
You have a
yes.
sheriff.
The sheriff has a walkie-talkie and a scooter.
We will ride his scooter and talk on his walkie-talkie and information sharing. Next point would be, we will assess the situation up on the moor. We believe you have a problem located specifically up on the moor with the monster Grendel.
Yeah, we haven't seen him, but we've heard the grumblings.
We would assess the situation from the grassroots up. Information sharing, I've already said that, I'm sorry I put these in twice. The train was a little bit delayed and I was distracted. Preferential, I can't read this, I have to go further back, sorry. Casualty calculation. Yes, this is when we talk about on both sides. Amongst the villagers, there would inevitably be casualties from our operations, and amongst our operatives also, we would expect to lose 2 or 3. That would cost you money, about £2,000 per employee.
Yes.
We do have to, they are expensive. They're assured, but you have to pay
there would be casualties during the feasibility study stage.
Feasibility studies are generally safe.
Yes.
In my experience, only one man has
talking about feasibility study of the feasibility study. But
that would be even safer. Just to make a feasibility study into the feasibility of the feasibility study would be the safest option.
Life insurance is not crucial.
It's not crucial at that stage. No, it's only when you get into the final feasibility study and then onwards from there that it gets very dangerous indeed.
Yes.
Next point, CBA. You all know what that means. It's a cost-benefit analysis, right? We would do the cost-benefit analysis on the. We'd look into the sacrifice. You can't read this. I'm sorry. It's a very low resolution PowerPoint. Sacrifice versus aggressive termination. Now, this is. If you believe in some kind of religion that has a jealous God, an angry God who can be placated by human or animal sacrifice. Some people advocate that. Our company anyway, does not. We believe in aggressive termination. We simply terminate the life functions of the monster.
What is done with the waste of the neutralized subject?
Sometimes it can be toxic. We keep it out of the reach of children. Sometimes we use the blubber for heating oil. If it's a large monster, whale-shaped, whale-sized. Grendel, we believe, is quite large. We've seen some film of Grendel. Very rare, it's like Bigfoot.
And so, would it be possible for the corpse to be surrendered to our custody?
A horse?
The corpse of...
I thought you said a horse.
Well, the horse... the sheriff does not have a horse, he only has
you said a motorcycle. I stand corrected.
No,
the corpse could be, well, we would have to, as we would look into the sharing of the copyright on the final report we'd write in the form of an epic poem, we would also share the corpse, because of course it's a trophy. We might want to mount on our office wall the head of Grendel, you see.
So you would get the upper half of the...
You could have the lower half, you could stuff the lower half and have that in a suit of armour.
Could it be
in the meat hall?
Middle?
Cut down, no. Emerging out of the wall, a half a monster. Now, it's a little avant-garde for the likes of us.
But we still don't know if there really are monsters.
No, we're jumping ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
Let me go on to the next point. About all the work, this is all VAT free, by the way. We would then initiate monster clearance activity. This would involve industrial cleaners and hoovers and all sorts of vacuum and suction devices. We have made experiments with small arms weapons also. Sometimes you can shoot holes into something and disintegrate into it. But you see, as we're discussing trophies, we don't want to do that. Don't want to destroy a beautiful corpse.
Would you say you have access to all sorts of weapons then?
We don't have heavy weapons. No, nothing nuclear.
Right.
No missiles and jet fighters and nothing like that. No, we've just got air pistols, slingshots, things like that. No, don't laugh. They're very effective and very cheap. That's important because, of course, the final report and billing for services. We will bill you after the capture of the monster and the destruction of the monster, the termination, sorry, I should say. And then the final report will be delivered in the form of an epic poem. And of course, we will have to talk about the rights, the Hollywood rights, film rights to the epic poem. Very important because at some point in the future,
We have
someone
the
will
casting
probably make a film.
choices, so would we be able to retain some casting decisions?
We could even
For
cast
example-
Crispin Glover as the monster. Who knows? If he's available in the future, 500-600 years in the future, yes.
Yes, yes.
We'd have to talk to his agent. We are the evil readers. Yes.
We are the evil readers.
We utilize the freedom every reader has to read selectively and to read personally. What do we do?
And so, if we're reading Richard Bach's Jonathan Livingston Seagull, we can focus on departing from the flock.
That's not very evil, though. No, we need something more evil than that.
It is pretty evil.
Well, what about the Bible? You could just read just tear out all the bits of the Bible about good people and just read the bits about Satan.
Or the part about Ezekiel having to eat waste
Lot.
bread.
Fucking his own daughters. Or what about Wuthering Heights? I read Wuthering Heights. I identified with Heathcliff. You're not supposed to identify with Heathcliff. It's not very good for your health, being evil.
It's good for the respiration, though, which really is good for the health. And I think the cough is a minor payment for increased, it's good for the skin to breathe a lot.
You know, I read some Sherlock Holmes mysteries, and I identified with the murderers. You're allowed to do that. You are. But if you don't read the end, you don't see the bit where good trying where Sherlock Holmes comes and catches the killer and takes him off to, gives him over to the police. You don't have to read it.
Yeah, well, I didn't read all of Beowulf. I was supposed to, but I didn't finish it. And I think one reason is that I began to feel that Beowulf is a kind of a Porsche-driving jock kind of fellow, and Grendel is really the hero. Grendel is acting on his deepest instincts. He's true to himself.
You mean Beowulf is the truly evil character?
I mean Beowulf is well, actually Beowulf is evil, but Grendel is more evil, and so I began to be confused as to which character to identify with.
Jesus Christ, if they're all evil, every character in literature is evil, we could read anything. We could read all of literature all the way through and then just find the little part of evil that's in every character.
Yeah, maybe maybe Beowulf is sarcastically being good. He's actually very evil, even more so than Grendel.
What if we're not evil?
What if we're really, really evil, pretending to not be evil, but within that pretending are evil?
Kim Jong-il! Why did I say that? Oh, I know why, because he kidnaps everybody and puts them in films. We can imagine every film we've ever seen in the cinema has been populated by actors kidnapped by Kim Jong-il.
Like Titanic.
Titanic, everybody was cast by Kim Jong-il in that. Then it's an evil film. Cast by Kim Jong-il. We could shout it in the cinema. We'll be thrown out, of course. Then we won't have to watch the soggy ending. Oh God, being evil's bad for your health. Reminds me of that poem by Bertolt Brecht. He looks on the wall of his study and he sees the mask of evil, and it reminds him, the bulging veins on the forehead remind him of the strain of being evil.